The time has come, Mr. President, for both the legislature and the executive arms to give the judiciary a worthwhile financial attention. We should give them more resources because they can do better. It's not enough to increase the number of justices. Yes, that will reduce some burden.
The committee, after the screening exercise, deliberated on the nominees' suitability for appointments as justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria and hereby make the following findings. That the appointment of the nominees satisfy the requirements of the provisions of Section 231, subsection 2, and subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. That there is no criminal record or adverse report found against the nominees, as record checks and other forms of investigation by relevant security agencies did not reveal any negative trace against them. That there is no petition against the appointments of the nominees. That the nominees possess the requisite leadership qualities required of judicial officers to exercise restraint and uphold the dignity of the court and the litigants in the discharge of their official functions.
I plead with my colleagues in the Senate. Let us look at the budget of the federal judiciary, especially also in the Court of Appeal and industrial courts, all the courts. When you have relations in these courts, you will find out that they are not even coping up with life. So how can they give good justice in the open court of law? It's going to be really difficult, Mr. President. And also, it is not right to leave justice of Supreme Court for so long. I'm adding my voice to former Governor Bayelsa, that you will live like Southeast. We were left for almost 7 years without a judge in the Supreme Court, entire Southeast. Not only one, I mean, there were vacancies, but to key to these vacancies was a problem.
And should also perhaps pass it to the executive, which is the appointing authority, that here we are screening 11 justices for the Supreme Court at the same time. Very commendable act the president has done, but we shouldn't be doing this at this time. For so long, these vacancies have existed. They could have been filled long before now. We had a situation where areas in this country were left without representation, leading to discussions and accusations about perceived marginalization. Even the perception of it was not good, especially representation at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court being the ultimate court in this court and structured in a way that has representation from all parts of this country is important, Mr. President. While looking at this nomination, that we should also pass that message that anytime these vacancies occur, they should be filled promptly. There are fitting, very qualified people from all parts of this country to fill those vacancies, either at the Federal Court, at the Court of Appeal, or especially at the Supreme Court, anytime those vacancies arise. I thought, Mr. President, that we should draw that attention as a matter of general concern to the appointing authorities at this time that we are discussing this, and finally...
For the first time, we have a Supreme Court justice from Plateau State. Justice Sankey is from Plateau. This is the first time that we are celebrating a Supreme Court justice too in Nigeria. So for this alone, even for the sympathy for people of Plateau State, I think this presentation, these people should be given accelerated confirmation. So I use the
openness is also drawn from page 9. Page 9 of this report. If you look at the distribution of the 21 justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, as presently constituted, Mr. President, you will immediately see that great job was done in balancing nominations across the 6 geopolitical zones. There is no zone in Nigeria who will say they don't have somebody who is credible at the apex court. Every zone had minimum of 3 justices at the Supreme Court now. Only 4, only 3 have 1 additional. So we have federal character firmly observed in these nominations. Not only that, the names that were put forward are names we have been reading their judgments.